Hi, my name is Yvette and I'm the Executive Director of Show and Tell. And what you need to know is what to do when your child is being disciplined because they broke a school rule. Children with disabilities, they're disciplined differently than kids without disabilities, and we'll explain why. But first, I want to talk about the three types of removals. There's short-term removal, long-term removal, and pattern removal. With the short-term removal, the school has the authority to discipline your child like they would discipline any other child without a disability if it's up to 10 days in a school year. So for example, if they broke a school rule in September, they were suspended for 2 days, then they broke another one in October, that was 3, and they suspended for 3 days, that's 5. And then they broke another one that was pretty serious in January, so that was 4 days. So right now we have 9. And then let's just say the kid mouths off the teacher in February and the child is suspended for 2 days. So now we're on day 11. So anything from 11 onward would be considered now long-term removal. And so when you have long-term removal, then they have to decide whether that child broke that school rule because of their disability or not. And how are we going to determine whether this child broke the rule because of their disability or not? Well, you have to bring a team together to decide that. Who makes up the team? Well, you have the school district personnel, you have relevant members from the IEP meeting, and the parents and the school decides who's going to be those relevant IEP members that's going to be part of this team. And then there's the parents. So these group of people are going to come together and determine whether that child's behavior was because of their disability or not. The team comes together and they look over some relevant information, like the student's IEP, or teacher's observations. What did the teacher observe, or the people that were there, what did they observe when the event happened? Information from the student's parents, and also a student's evaluation or a functional behavioral assessment. And the team can decide to conduct additional assessments if they need to decide whether this was because of their disability or not. So now there has to be a manifestation hearing or meeting to discuss this. And when they're discussing to determine whether this was a manifestation of the child's disability, they're going to ask 2 questions. Was this because of the child's disability that they broke a school rule? Or was it because the school didn't implement the IEP? Many parents and teachers know that when they have a child that has certain behaviors, they may want to have something set up to prevent them to break a school rule. And so that's in the IEP. But if the school doesn't follow it, if the school doesn't do what they need to do to prevent it, then it's not the student's fault, it's the school's fault. So whether it's the school failing to implement the IEP or it's because of their disability, that child's going to be disciplined differently. So what will happen is that, first of all, they're going to have a functional behavior assessment to find out why, what happened, what made them behave the way they did. The functional behavior assessment helps that. Those assessments look and see what happens before the event happened, what happened during, and then what happened after. And they'll do an assessment on that, and it may take several weeks. And they'll have a result, and from that they will make what they call a behavior intervention plan. And then they will develop that plan and then implement that plan. But let's say the child already has a behavior intervention plan. What do you do then? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to review that plan and see if you need to review it or modify it so the bad behavior won't happen again. Also, what you need to do as well is you have to return the child back to school because it wasn't their fault. You return them back to school unless the school and the parents disagree. A parent can say, listen, you messed up. You didn't implement the child's IEP, and my child has a right to go back to school. But I don't think it's wise. So I'm going to keep them at home for a while and not go back to school to a few days from now. But what if it wasn't a manifestation of their disability? What if they were willful? They knew they were doing wrong. Johnny knew he shouldn't have been spray painting the side of the building. He just wanted to be cool like his other friends. Well, then he's going to be disciplined just like everybody else with the same type of discipline and the same duration. But if it happens 11 days or more, that child will still receive special ed services no matter where they are. Wherever the alternative setting is, that's where those special ed services has to be. And many parents don't know that. Many parents don't know that once it's day 11 or more, they are supposed to get their services. So really remember that. Keep track of when your child's being suspended and make sure that when day 11 happens, you request those supports and services. You shouldn't have to ask. They should just give it to you. But some schools won't do that. So you're going to have to be on top of it and make sure that your child gets all the supports and services they need. And that's what you needed to know.